Water rates may be on the rise in Corpus Christi. Victoria Industries may be digging a little deeper for water. And a look at how a drumming camp in Dallas is shaping new music. Today is Thursday, July 9th, 2026. This is South Texas Midday. I'm Spencer Chiak. Water rates in Corpus Christi could be on the rise. Yesterday, the City Council held their first workshop covering the topic, and city leaders were showed a proposed plan that would increase rates by almost 6% for residential users, almost 7% for commercial users, and almost 5% for large volume water users. This comes as the city has spent over $1 billion on water projects in the past year as it came close to a water emergency. That projected emergency was pushed back by over a year after a rainy end of May and June. There will be one more workshop on July 16th to review the rate changes before the City Council votes on the rate July 21st. In Victoria, changes may be coming to where industry gets its water. On Friday, the Victoria Groundwater Conservation District will vote on possible rule changes related to incentives to have industry use water from deeper parts of the aquifer to help preserve cleaner surface water. A gap exists in local services for families in crisis in the San Antonio area, increasing the likelihood of children entering the child welfare system in Texas. That's according to officials who spoke at this week's Bexar County Commissioners meeting. Texas Public Radio's Brian Kirkpatrick reports.
In an effort to keep families out of the state's child protection system and giving them a better shot of staying together, commissioners were briefed on the proposed development of a crisis nursery as a dedicated short-term placement option for minors and families. Barbara Schaefer, a director within the county manager's office, told commissioners such a nursery would provide a 24-hour safe haven for children up to 10 years of age, while their adult caregiver or caregivers seek assistance to address a crisis such as finding affordable housing, a job loss, or a medical or mental health issue.
These are children who are too young to protect themselves, too young to ask for help, and often too young to be enrolled in child care programs where others might recognize signs of danger.
The nursery would be funded by $1.6 million in county funding that formerly paid for the salaries of state CPS caseworkers. The county cut that funding a couple of years ago, insisting the state absorb the cost instead. County Judge Peter Sakai says he wants to hear a progress report on the crisis nursery at the next commissioners' meeting. I'm Brian Kirkpatrick in San Antonio.
Hundreds of Granbury residents are asking city leaders to take the unusual step of declaring no confidence in two of the city's top officials. KERA's Emmanuel Rivas reports the move comes over concerns about transparency over a proposed data center project.
More than 800 residents signed petitions asking the Granbury City Council to declare votes of no confidence in City Manager Chris Kaufman and City Attorney Jeremy Sorrell. In January, the city annexed over 2,000 acres after telling the public it had no plans in place for that land. During Tuesday night's meeting, resident Daniel Piat told council members the petitions reflect growing frustrations over the city's handling of Project Patriot, a proposed power generation and AI data center development plan for the annexed land.
The trust essential to effective public service has been broken, and I urge the council to replace them with leaders who will uphold transparency, accountability, and faithfully serve the citizens of Granbury.
The city charter does not require council members to take actions on no confidence petitions, but they could remove the appointed officials with a majority vote. I'm Emmanuel Rivas in Dallas.
Texas advocacy groups warn a recent opinion from the U.S. Department of Justice could lead to an increase in institutionalized people with disabilities. KERA's Abigail Ruman reports.
The DOJ opinion essentially says states aren't required to provide services that help people with disabilities stay in their community. Abby Maddox is a 26-year-old advocate with Down syndrome who relies on several home and community-based services to live independently. She says she would be depressed if she lost access to those services.
I will have to move back with my parents or live in an institution. It depends what my family wants.
Advocates are urging policymakers to protect the rights of people with disabilities from the potential consequences of the DOJ opinion. I'm Abigail Ruman in Dallas.
Two faculty organizations are suing the Texas Tech University system, claiming new curriculum policies amount to unconstitutional censorship. The Texas Newsroom's Lucio Vasquez reports.
The lawsuit is challenging curriculum rules put in place by Texas Tech Chancellor Brandon Creighton, a former Republican state senator. The rules restrict classroom instruction on race, gender identity, and sexual orientation. Nicholas Haidt is an attorney representing the faculty group suing the university system. He says the rules have forced professors to remove or alter lessons on topics like Black history and LGBTQ+ issues, among others.
Proponents of the agenda can't change the reality of the world outside the campus walls, so they're trying to distort how that reality is taught on Texas Tech campuses.
The lawsuit asks a federal judge to block the policies. Texas Tech has not responded to requests for comment. I'm Lucio Vasquez in Houston.
A group of activists gathered outside the Travis County Administrative Building Wednesday morning to protest U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. As KUT's Katie McAfee reports, community members say ICE activity has ramped up in recent weeks.
Austin Sanctuary Network runs a hotline where people can report ICE activity like arrests or raids happening in the area. Peggy Morton with the group says in recent weeks they've seen an uptick in calls. She's also seeing more demand for the group's accompaniment program, which provides immigrants with rides to mandatory check-in appointments at the ICE office in San Antonio.
I used to give rides. It had gotten to where I was giving maybe 2 a month or 3 a month. Now it's like 4 a week. And San Antonio is a long way off.
The protest came a day after an ICE agent fatally shot a Mexican man without legal status in Houston during what the agency called a, quote, targeted enforcement operation. Morton says activists in Austin are particularly concerned with how and where ICE agents are making arrests. The group's hotline received a call last week about a woman named Asalia Martinez, who is originally from Mexico. Morton says Martinez was detained in the parking lot of a community care health clinic, and she's since been deported to an unfamiliar city in Mexico. Alejandro Caceres with the Austin Sanctuary Network says Travis County leaders should do more to protect residents from ICE while they're seeking medical care.
Isalia was detained at community care. That is a county-funded clinic. We have been coming to the same court for about 2 years now, telling Andy Brown, hey, this is happening in your community, this is happening in Austin, this is happening in the streets, and it has felt that we've been speaking to a wall this whole time.
It's unclear exactly how the county could intervene with ICE enforcement. Counties in Texas are required to follow all federal and state laws, and they don't have the power to pass ordinances like cities do. Caceres says the group still plans to formally ask the county to look into how it can protect the immigrant community at its next Commissioners Court meeting on Tuesday. I'm Katie McAfee in Austin.
Finally, Selena helped bring Tejano music to a wider audience. But a lot of other sounds from the border and northern Mexico are still being played, taught, and reworked by musicians today. KERA's Marina Tejan Martinez takes us to a first-of-its-kind drumming camp near Dallas, where some big-name artists help pass those traditions to the next generation.
More than 24 men and boys stand at tables practicing on handheld drum heads inside a big red barn. They've come to this dusty ranch in Midlothian, just south of Dallas, to learn from music legends. Students ages 11 to 46 came from Arizona, Arkansas, and North Carolina. They're here to get better at conjunto-style drumming. Conjunto literally translates to a group. As for the genre conjunto, it's got an umpa sound. Bouncier than, say, Tejano cumbia that Selena made familiar. Beto Morales organized the camp. He's a drummer and podcaster based in Colorado. He runs a network of drummers called Baqueteros Macizos. Morales says the camp's hands-on experience goes deeper than social media tutorials. It gives students a path to musical growth.
Instead of having to learn in 5-10 years, well, you're compacting 30 years of experience into 2 days, which is a lot. But you get one-on-ones with these people. You're literally a foot away from these people learning. I think it's just something that people need.
Camper Emiliano Rodriguez is a junior at Skyline High School in Dallas. He's drummed in school marching bands, and now he's in a local norteño band called La Sede. He prefers norteño to conjunto. It's got a faster tempo with traditional folk storytelling. That's what he wanted to learn about at camp, but he got much more.
They also try to inspire us to listen to more genres, not just norteño, because for somebody to play the drums, they gotta love music in general, not just their one genre.
Emiliano learned that camp instructor Pablo Martinez was a heavy metal drummer before he joined a conjunto group. An on-site recording studio producer, Gama Diaz, wore a Billie Eilish t-shirt while talking to students.
I always thought about creating more unique music because I like experimenting, but I always had second thoughts. But these guys really opened my eyes to risk it more.
He pointed to Grupo Frontera, who started as strictly norteño. Over the years, they added corridos, Mexican legends told in ballads. They experimented with rap and tribal, he says, and even collaborated on a song with Bad Bunny.
Hace tiempo no pensaba en ti, borracho de tu Insta me metí. Baby, ya sé que a ti te va bien, que de mí tú no quieres saber. Ay, ay.
Risking creating a new style of music. Yeah, there's gonna be people that might say like, oh, it sounds trash because it's not norteño no more. But it can also get a lot of success because it's like unique. It's something that has never been done.
Adrian Regalado was another camp instructor. He's drummed for Conjunto Primavera for 20 years. Regalado and the San Antonio band are norteño legends.
I had a little kid yesterday. He's like, hey, Adrian, I want you to teach me how to do this. I go, you're nervous, right? He goes, of course, you're here. I said, don't be nervous, Dad. I said, we're family, we're brothers, we're here to help each other.
He's glad the students are continuing music tradition, but also branching out.
Every time I play behind my drum set, I see that as my partner, my love, because my drums is my life. That's my domain. That's where I live. That's where I'm from. And that's why we're here trying to teach out these other kids, and I hope everybody that goes home happy with this camp.
He promised organizers that he would return for next year's camp, which the Baqueteros announced last week will be in Denver. For KERA News, I'm Marina Trahan Martinez in Dallas.
This has been South Texas Midday. I'm Spencer Chiak. Your community arts calendar and more is on its way next.